Hi, welcome to another episode of the Chat Ride with me, TD Black. So, unfortunately, today we're not in our usual space of work. We're working out of office. We are working in a room instead of a ride. I apologize for it, but unfortunately, I don't have a ride for now. Which brings me to the theme of the show today, right? Using taxis. Now, using taxis is fine. There's no problem with using public transport unless if you've taken a long break from regular use of public transport and then you go back. It's a bit of a shock to the system. Let's just say it was an interesting week for me, and it's going to be an interesting, I don't know how long it's going to take. But basically, I wanted to share my experience of using taxis again after how many years is it? Like 5 years or something, since 2014, 2019 now. Yes, so it's been about 5 years since I've used regular public transport, since I've used taxis on a regular basis. And there's the good and the bad, right? So on the first day, I'll walk you through it. On the first day, it was cool because I was like, okay, so I can just sit back while I'm being driven around. Do you know how cool that is? My leg does not have to feel the pain of the clutch. I can just relax and enjoy the ride. And and another benefit, you get there faster. Like, let me tell you, there is no such thing as traffic in the vocab of a taxi driver. That word doesn't exist. They don't know what it means. It's non-existent. Taxis can literally, in peak traffic, get you there faster than you would get there without traffic. And I'm not lying. I literally counted the minutes. Driving from Sandton Square or Nelson Mandela Square, that area, to Alexandra Township, literally takes about 15-20 minutes max without traffic. In a cab with traffic, it takes 10 minutes. I'm not joking. I literally calculated it and I couldn't believe it. But that's how long it took. Why? Because, I mean, they know the routes, they know the back routes. If there is no back route, they will get on that yellow lane, they will get on the damn pavement. If they can escape traffic. Like, I don't know how they do it, but they do it. What is a red robot? What is that? Forget orange or yellow. Red robot is also non-existent. Two things that are non-existent to a taxi driver: traffic and red robot. Every robot is green, according to as long as there is no car in front of the taxi. Every robot is a green robot, and every robot says go. As long as there's no car in front of him, and as long as there are no traffic cops around, they will go. So that's one of the things I enjoyed, right? The fact that I got there on time, and the fact that, well, I didn't get there on time, actually. I'll explain why, but it was a quick ride. And the fact that I just sat there while I was driven around. That's the coolest thing ever. And taxis are cheaper than petrol, for sure, definitely, right? But and now we reach the point where we kind of realize why we in the first place decided to get a car. That Costa Lights of mine, it was so amazing compared to some of the experiences I've had this week. Like, the worst part is the wait, right? So when you get to the taxi rank, you literally have to wait in a queue for the taxi to actually come. So even though it's a quick ride, because they managed to skip traffic somehow, some way, miraculously, they skip traffic, it's still a long journey because you have to wait go taxi rank for a while before the cab comes through. So that I hated. And the second thing I hated was, sometimes, I mean, I appreciate getting to places fast, but I want to get there in one piece, and sometimes it doesn't feel like I will. So sometimes I don't actually enjoy the ride because I'm just like waiting for that accident to happen, because I'm just like the whole time you're like, yo, I can't believe you missed that one. That almost something bad happened, because I mean they are reckless as hell. You know, we appreciate getting to places fast as commuters, but let's get there in one piece, please. You know what I mean? So that was one of the bad parts about it. And then also, like literally the whole week, I thought I had escaped this next thing, right? I was like happy about it and everything, and then Friday morning happened, and it proved to me that you can never escape this. What is this? The back seat. You can never escape the back seat. The back seat is the worst because you are always squashed. And the thing about the back seat is that there is no rule that only skinny people go to the back. No, as long as you're in line and the only option for you is the back seat, you shall do the back seat or wait for the next taxi. And if you're late in the morning, chances are you're not going to wait for that next taxi. So what I noticed is that back seat, it's better if you're the first or the second one, because you can choose the windows, and you know, you can sort of like iron out how much space is good enough for you, you know, put your bag properly on your lap, and then you're good. When you're the last person to enter the back seat, there is literally a tiny space left for you, right? Because there's 3 people sitting there, and not all of them are skinny, or hardly, sometimes none of them are skinny, because for some reason the skinny people do not like the back seat, which it's fine. You know what, let's talk about it another day. Let's not make it about size. But it's a tiny space that's left for you, and you need to squeeze yourself in there. And what I've realized is over the past 5 years, I think the ass has gotten a bit wider or something. Because it's a lot tighter than it used to be, a lot more uncomfortable than it used to be. And another thing is that you literally can't, like, what's it called? You can't put your back against the back of the seat, because literally the space that's left for you is like this. It's triangular, right? So you can fit at the top of the triangle or the bottom of the triangle, but at the top of the triangle, your ass is not going to fit there. Right? So you can't reach the back of the seat. So the whole time in the taxi, you're sitting like this. The whole time until you get there. And the annoying thing I experienced is that the girl sitting next to me, she's busy like pushing me and like pushing her bag and like basically in action saying I'm squashing her. And I'm like, girl, you're in the back seat, just accept it and wait until you get to your destination. Listen here. I am the most uncomfortable person in this whole entire taxi, and I'm paying the same amount as everybody else. And my mouth is shut, and I'm not doing any funny body language. So just sit down and relax. So that was my experience of taxis for the past week. I think for me, like, maybe it was a bit of a shock to the system as well. And I think the worst thing of it all was the weather. The weather in Joburg for the past week has been nothing but hell. This is why I don't understand how people survive Europe as long as they do, because I know the weather there is, you know, sometimes you don't see the sun for a really long time. And this past week has been bad. Like, it's been raining every single day. It was raining. How unfair is that? So literally, and using taxis when it's raining is terrible, especially when you have natural hair. Like braids and having a wig on or weave on, that saves your actual hair. But now I decided midweek to get rid of my braids, and which I don't know what I was thinking, because also I don't have an umbrella. Like, I'll explain it another day. I don't know why I don't have an umbrella. So literally I had to survive, like make a plan, wear a hoodie and all this kind of stuff, like run in the rain and all of that stuff, just to protect my natural hair, because the natural hair of a black person shrinks in the rain. So it's just a disaster. You get to your destination looking like hell. So that was the worst part about this week in terms of using taxis, was the weather. Right? Because you commuting from one place to another, it doesn't fetch you at your doorstep, because your car's right there by your doorstep and leaves you at your destination right by the door. Not taxis, right? They leave you at a certain area. They don't care if it's raining. If you need to get off, you must get off in that rain without an umbrella. there's no empathy there. I'm sorry. They're all about making the money. So they will leave you in the rain, and I got left in the rain. Yeah, okay, I'm done complaining. There's no moral of the story this week. It's just that, you know, we appreciate taxis and everything, but it's got its downside to it as well. And I must say, I'm missing my ride. But until I get it back, listen, it's going to be me and taxis. So I might as well just get comfortable. So yeah, that was my experience of using taxis after 5 years, using taxis on a regular basis. Tell me what your experience is, if you ever experienced using taxis after a really long time. What are the cons? What are the pros? What is it that you love? What it is that you don't love? The nice thing about me is that I didn't have to count the money. I you know, avoided the front seat. And I know I'm an accountant, but sometimes you just want to break from counting. So that's what I avoided. But listen, leave your comments down below. Please subscribe, please share, please like, do it all, and catch me on the next episode of the Chat Ride with TD Black.